Have the perfect music too for this. Doing the Havoc stuff. Alright. No one's here yet, but let's get started doing some Havoc, boys. Down just a hair. Alright. Let's get into it. Hey, tabletop date night, how you doing? Yeah, I figured this is the correct music to use. Oh! For the Havoc Brothers. Well, I broke it. Let's get in there. Where'd it go? These are 3D printed models by Monstrous Encounters. Yep, Monstrous Encounters. This is part of his $20 everything deal for the month. Okay. So we'll set that one back over there. Yeah, these are based on like old Hammer stuff. And I've got his whole collection of them. And you could too if you just head over to his Patreon and sub for 1 month. And that's Monstrous Encounters. He's running a deal right now where you get his whole catalog. I'm doing good, man. It's Monday night. Doing some painting. I'm still on the fence whether I'm going to do these black or silver. I went and picked up more of both. But I am going to do them on snow bases. First time I've done snow bases in like 15 years. So we will see if that works. Hey, Riverboat Sam, how you doing tonight? Dark steel and gold. I like that idea. Yeah. I opened up White Bad Audio, and this is the one that popped up first. I'm like, that's appropriate. I'm pretty active for working on it now, so we're doing it. Doing great over here. Well, cat hair. Yeah, I like using his retro stuff on the games because if I do like his industrial punk metal, it just goes too hard and just overpowers everything whenever I do a video. But man, he's got some good music. Yep, they are. Well, no, they are not pre-supported. But I just did auto supports on them and auto light supports, and they all came out pretty darn good. Auto supports, I use Chi2 Box because I had a feeling that was going to be the next question. And like I said on Discord, today was supposed to be. I was going to do the Havoc Warriors, but I forgot to print their heads. So that's on the printer right now. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, these are the parts they break down to are chunky enough to where auto supports just can't go wrong on these. Yeah, lychee works good as well. I just can't. I like to slice things on the fly, so I hate sitting there and waiting for like 30 seconds before I get past their splash screen in the beginning, because I'm not going to pay for a slicer. And this is going to be the Havoc Lord. Rawr. Yeah, I really like that about his stuff. His stuff just works. That's how I like it. So I just got done with my first pass of like play testing small scale stuff. Trying to redesign OPR in small scale. And I'll tell you what, I learned a lot in that one playtest that I did with it. You know, didn't finish the game because it wasn't about who won the game. It was just, does this work? And there's definitely some changes that are going to be made. Things I think that can be simpler. There, let's wash out the brush, clear off the palette. No, it's kind of a rule set that I'm coming up with myself. I'm rebuilding all the army books to be like workable in 6mm, 6 or 8mm, whatever epic scale is. Okay, clean this out, throw this one out, and then I'll be right back. Gotta clear this. I'll answer that question real quick. I'll get back. Okay, so Blasting Deadly, it is still going to work the same way it works in OPR, but the thing is, I'm going to change the weapons to be more of a simplified thing. Like, a lot of the tanks and stuff are going to be... The tanks and monsters, their stats are going to be cut in half. Because, you know, you're going to be able to take them in squads of like 3 or 6, depending. So, Deadly's still going to be there, because things are still going to have multiple wounds. About 3/4 of the way through the game that I played, I was like, I don't think I need to make all of these weapons like as granular as they are in regular OPR. I just have like archetype weapons. Like squad weapons, squad heavy weapons, melee weapons, heavy melee weapons, and like anti-tank, anti-armor, anti-titan weaponry. Okay, we're gonna start. I think we're gonna start on the horses first. So let's pull this. Stop falling on stuff. Thank you. And for the horses, I want to do the horses in a dark wood. This gives them a nice chestnut color. This is brand new. So, like I said, the first round of playtests is done, and notes have been taken, and things are going to change, and there's going to be another round of playtests. Yeah, chestnut ink was kind of cool back in the day. Alright, mixed. Let's start over here. Some of these horses, there's not much skin showing. Oh, awesome. Have you tried the Flow 8 out? Hold on, zooming for a second. Oh, come on. Back one. Backwards. There we go. Alright, well, let me know when you do. See if it works out. Yeah, Epic does lead itself to mass infantry and lots of tanks and stuff on the board. So, I think the next playtest I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can... Because right now I have squads at toughness 3, but I'm going to see if it makes sense to have them at toughness 1. And just do, like, units of 5 or 10. Instead of the 3 squads of 3 that I have now. Well, that's why I'm testing stuff. That's why this is going to be Epic, but simpler. Even though I haven't played Epic in 20 years. It's one of those, I think I can pull it off. So I'm going to try. We don't have to be too clean here because we're going to do a whole lot of metal over top of all this stuff, so a little bit of slop is fine at this point. There we go. That's a pretty good color for a horse. No one will ever see that anyways. There we go. It's both. It's easier to paint because you can just plow through a lot of it. You can get a lot of it like tabletop quality really fast. But if you want to put any detail into it, it's just because it's so tiny, you better bust out the 000 brushes. Try it down. That was a little loud. So I got the wife upstairs sleeping. I don't want to get a random shoe to the back of the head. Yeah, it's definitely... you definitely got to be in the mood to do small scale stuff. Like, where do I find the models? Where do I determine what is a Marauder or a Havoc? Well, if I'm just making... Like, if I go, I want to use... If I want to use an army that doesn't have models for OPR, I just go peruse through my mini factory. Or in this case, I bought this catalog and just happened to find some really good stuff in there. Like these are the knights, and here are the marauders. So there's the marauders. So he definitely had a difference between the two. But if it's an army that I'm just completely coming up with whatever for it, I'll just peruse my mini factory, and most of the time in the middle of the night, and just randomly start picking up stuff I think looks cool. You know what, let me blast through all the legs, and then I'll do the faces on the horses, just so we don't have to keep switching between brushes. The HSN QVC for gamers. How many terabytes is my collection? Well, right now it is only 3 terabytes because as I use stuff, I kind of delete the files, and technically it's still on my mini factory, so if I wanted it again, I could just download it again, but yeah. Overall, probably 30 terabytes, maybe? Yeah, only 3 terabytes. My external drive, my 3 terabyte drive, I've dumped that a few times. Listen, I have a problem, okay? I like stuff. I like stuff, I like cool stuff, and a lot of people make a lot of cool stuff. Yes, there are quite a few space bugs out there. quite a few space bugs. Yeah, and a lot of it, like a lot of stuff. Say if you find something that looks suspiciously like a scan of some other company's model, you want to jump on it. Because if you go, I'll download that tomorrow, or I'll find that when I need it, it'll probably be gone. So I have a lot of people sometimes, sometimes when I use stuff like that, people ask me where I got it. I'm like, I can't tell you because it's gone. It's been gone for years. Because, yeah. Speaking of certain companies being rather litigious. Oh, awesome. Awesome, yeah. Like the flow aid or the flow improver is just great for putting down the color. Good evening, Silent. But, yeah, that's another thing you run into is there's a lot of fetishist stuff out there, especially when you start looking for dark elves. But believe it or not, they are next up on my Havoc, my Grimdark Future Army list. I'm going to be doing the Dark Elf Flying Circus. I don't know why. Like, when I was making these lists, I was definitely into flying stuff. But it's got a whole bunch of hoverboards, a couple jet bikes, and I think some heavy jet bikes transporting some stuff. I'm not sure. But I'm going to be using the stuff from, I think it's Edge Miniatures for that. Good evening, Steve. Yeah, speaking of Edge Miniatures, I'm gonna have to check his catalog because I got these STLs a while ago. He might have had new and updated stuff since that I might have to snag. Oh yeah, as I was saying, speaking of companies that like to be overly litigious about stuff, did you see that the GW lawsuit that went out they got Baron of Dice? Can't say nah to paint mount. So I don't know, like I'm not fully up to speed on everything there, but I think that GW might have froze his web store At least that's what they were trying to do. These are from Monstrous Encounters. I forgot what he called them. But you go through his catalog, you'll definitely know which ones these are. These are going to be Havoc Knights, if you can't tell. Yeah, I'm sure Baron of Dice will figure something out with them because what they hit him for was just something stupid. I think they said they got him on his battle mat that he said was appropriate for Warhammer 40k, and because he used the term Warhammer 40k in his advertising, that's why he got shut down, or that's why he got wrapped up in the lawsuit. Yeah, they're being ridiculous lately, and it's like I don't want to just be a bash on GW thing, but man, they're making it hard. They're doing a lot of stupid shit. Yeah, they hit the No Guts No Galaxy podcast. So this is honestly the whole thing is either shows why you shouldn't use AI to write lawsuits, or they're just being really, really dumb. They did. Oh no, the Space Marine one's even worse than that. They copyright struck a woman who wrote children's books, and she wrote a story called The Littlest Space Marine, which had absolutely nothing to do with Games Workshop. But for some reason, they sued her, saying that it was copyright infringement. And of course, they lost that case after massive public outcry. They lost that case. Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling they're starting to feel the pinch from 3D printing. Right? Because, before, they're never going to release. If GW ever releases official STLs, that will that pretty much will signal the beginning of the end right there. At that point, something has happened. Because their whole business acumen to it is just so anti 3D printing. Yep. Yep, they do use 3D print. They use 3D printing for all of their prototyping. So that means somewhere in Nottingham there has to be a server or there has to be a drive that is air gapped that is holding all of their STL files. I bet you if someone at GWHQ lost their damn mind and released that, I think that would actually be the end right there. Yeah, they did. They claimed the ownership of the word Warhammer. Their, what was it, delusions of grandeur? Only we can use that word. That word that's been in the lexicon of humanity for the past 1,000 years. Only we're allowed to use it. Well, they don't just use it on their molds. You like on their prototype stuff that they give all the new models before they actually go to production on them. They print them out with a 3D printer, and then they give them to their in-house paint studio to paint the 3D prints. And the reason why we know this is that you can see layer lines on some of them. Yeah. Tell you what, if it wasn't for 3D printing, I would have stopped wargaming. Because I just couldn't do it anymore. And the reason why I switched over to OPR is because I started using different models, like proxy models and stuff, at my local game store, and then I started getting looks for that. Like I would use, Mantic models, and I would use War Games Atlantic and stuff, and everyone would look down their noses like, those aren't real GW models, shouldn't be allowed. Like, oh, all right then. Oh, that sucks. I cut my finger today. See that? Just random, tiny little one. And I was trying to rewire an air conditioner. And I was in a very claustrophobic space as I was doing it. And then towards the end, I was like, oh, okay, almost done. Why is there blood everywhere? That sucker bled for like 3 hours. Yeah. I wanted you to, if I want to play in the wild, the rest is 3D print. Really? Yep. Yeah, and that's what I had to do. Me and a couple of like-minded friends all started just playing with whatever the heck we wanted. And then one of us discovered OPR. It was not me at first. But they brought OPR over and was like, hey, check this out. And then I fell in love with the game. It felt like I was back in 3rd and 4th edition 40K. And to tell you the God's honest truth, out of everything I've done in life, starting a YouTube channel was definitely not on my radar. Because I am not exactly what you would call a extrovert. I mean, I am an extrovert, just not with recorded stuff. But I went onto YouTube to look for OPR content. And at the time, the only one that was there was like Hans Wargaming. And I wanted more. Then after a while, I was like, I can be more. Why don't I do it? There you go. we are almost through these horses. We're going to actually start doing some fun stuff, like putting armor on these guys. Shine them. Oh, and cut it so clean, yeah. Oh, there's a couple of us out there now. There's a couple of us. You're included in that. Even though you're on a break, you're still included in that number. Oh, I'm missing stuff. We got a lot of chat going on tonight. Listen, as far as YouTube goes, I am never going to say I am a professional at this. Well, you can see I can't even keep my model centered. Oh, you still count. You'll be back. Yeah. Yeah, and this is going to sound kind of weird, but I have been through so many addition changes with 40K that I know we are at that spot where a lot of 40K players, they're going to start looking for other things. And so I will be here with the OPR, with open arms, saying, come on in. Like, I knew it was about that time when I started seeing YouTube videos from other creators going, 10th edition is just boring. Like, oh, all right. Again, I'm not centered on the screen. All right. Oh, almost through the horses. He's lamenting over the dropping of his armies. Yeah. Yeah, that was... I noticed a big uptick in OPR in the YouTube zeitgeist once armies started to get dropped. Well, I think OPR is going to pop off once we get the Havoc and the Battle Brothers. I think, well, it'll definitely help, but with the way that OPR is, I mean, we'll definitely get a lot more people in once they drop, because a lot more people will, they'll make a big push for it. And more people will see that and go, hey, I can take my Space Marines that I haven't played with in over a year and play some OPR with them. Am I looking forward to Army update? Yes, I am totally looking forward to Army updates. I want to see what they do with it. I want to see the new rules they're going to come out with. They're pretty... I have a feeling they're going to be like just the same as the old rules, just with different names for the armies. Maybe a couple new things here and there. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Have they talked about their plans for Battle Brothers? It's like what the Battle Brothers look like? Because they have a picture of what a Battle Brother is going to look like. If you go to the OPR website and then you go to the lore section underneath the Grimdark Future Armies, and then you go to Battle Brothers, you can see what one is going to look like. They also have a Havoc Brother on that section too. They look very Dead Spacey, which I think is cool. You definitely not have to purchase the same army again. You can use whatever. You are model agnostic. You could use Green Army Men for all that matters. I just hope that as OPR grows, we are not going to have an influx of dickheads. Yeah, Goblin Reclaimer is going to be cool. Because I've seen a lot of, I listen to Hobby Nightmares and I go on Reddit all the time to see what kind of other stuff is going on in the hobby space. And there's a lot of people complaining about elitists in the tabletop hobby. And I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, see? Alright, horses are done. Okay, let me clean this out. Next, go ahead and start with the dark iron. Let's go ahead and put some plates on. For that, we're going to do a mix. We're going to do... What do we got here? We got polished silver. I don't want polished silver. Where's the other silver? The darker. The one that starts darker. I know I got a new... I'm looking for broadsword silver. Ow! Stab me. I got a new bottle there, but I know I have one that's already open. Stand by. I know. Great content. Looking for paints. There it is. Broadsword silver. So we'll put this one back. Start with this. Lots of this. And then to that, we're going to do a few drops of Grim Black. Then we're going to do a little bit of Flow Aid. Don't spurt. Don't. Okay, there we go. And then we'll go for this brush. This will give us a dark metal look. So this will be what we start with. Then I can highlight it up from there. When we talk about highlights, like I know what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's, can you hold these? No, you can't. All right, big guy, hold this for me. Thank you. Yeah, no memes yet. Yes, that we must make memes. to be part of the internet culture. Another big thing is when the physical set releases, that's probably going to bring a whole bunch of people in too. Especially because, like, I was told the price they were going to have before the tariffs, and it was quite literally half of what a GW. It was like the same price as like a GW combat patrol box. So as we get people in buying the physical stuff that's going to be cheaper than getting GW stuff, I have a feeling we will be seeing more people going, hey, how come they can make it this cheap? Yes, everyone likes the lizards. What was that one? No, it's not Thursday. I'm adding an extra day in. I'm adding in painting on Mondays, too. Why? Just because I like hanging out with you guys. And I gotta wait for a whole nother crop of animes to come out so I can watch my anime recaps. Yeah, I'll be fine. Well, that's what happens. Everyone else in the house goes to bed at like 9 o'clock. And I just can't. So that's why I am down here painting all the time. Otherwise, I just lay in bed and stare at the ceiling. Oh, awesome. That's... If I can spark your creativity, awesome. I've done my job. God, you know, when you finish a great model, you're like, oh man, what's the... Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I get that. Like, sometimes when I finish an army, and the next one just rolls right off the printer, and I go, okay, starting over. Then, you know, you just got to get in... I got to trick my mind sometimes to get enthusiastic about things. Enthusiastic to paint. Instead of going, oh no, I have to paint all these models, I go, oh no, I get to paint all these models. think that is all the metal for this guy. No, wait. Hey, in there. There we go. There we go. We got some dark iron going on this guy. I can bring that up to shiny metal in some places. Okay. Next. Let's switch this brush out. I've fallen out of love with this brush. Let's go back to you. I think it's time for me to go get another $10 pack of brushes because all my current brushes are starting to fray. All my filth is in alphabetical order. That's exactly how I feel sometimes. I know about where everything is. If I clean stuff up, I'll never find it. I'll just do. It's the best answer I give you that one is, I don't know. I do have, it's over there somewhere, I do have one of those head mounts that has like magnifying glasses and lights and stuff on it. I bought it because I was like, oh, I think I could use the help, and then it just got in the way. My fine motor skills. Oh, the star symbol? I don't know. Like the 8-pointed star originally was from Moorcock, and I think it was. Oh, I used to know this. I think it signified like the evil god's dominion over all points of the compass, or something like that. And then GW appropriated it because they just thought it looked cool and used it for their like Chaos Undivided. And then it just kind of stuck. Yeah, see, there you go. I was close. Okay, that is all the horse armor I want to do. Now time for the dude. Fancy on their back. Yes, he was. These here, they are the, I forgot what the names are, but they are by Monstrous Encounters. part of his big sale he has going on this month. I think they're called like Nightmare something. Very old hammer inspired design. Yep, I'm going to be using these as the Havoc Disciples. These are going to be for the Age of Fantasy. Right? It's Disciples in Age of Fantasy. Right? If anybody should know, it'd be me. Boo, hiss. These are going to be fighting the Gators. Which, that video is, well, it was uploading when I came downstairs. So if you're a member, you get to watch it early. If not, you got to wait. I think it's set to like the first Saturday in June when that one comes out, because I am a little bit far ahead. Well, I won't spoil what the Gators did in their last game, but they were not too shabby, especially with what they were fighting. They were fighting against a God, I keep calling them vampiric. They were fighting against a volcanic dwarf list. That might be the toughest thing I've seen in Age of Fantasy. Tends to get all the good stats and good rolls. Yeah, sometimes. Some people just seem to be like that sometimes. Like, years and years and years ago, when I was back down in Florida in my gaming group there, we had this guy named Adam, who was never a very good, like, tactician. But he played Chaos Demons. And that boy could roll some 5s and 6s. So it's like, it doesn't matter what you do to him, he is not going to die. So to hell with your plans. Dark Crusaders, that's it. Let's see. I have so many different names rolling around in my head for everything. I'm like, maybe it's this. Yeah. Yeah, some people just the dice just say you're going to win. Okay, bigger brush here. Now let's try to go for a little bit more speed here. Yeah, that'd be part of it too. Coming in with the old fuzzy brush. I played the second round of the UK Tabletop Simulator GT last weekend, and I was playing as the Infected Undead because that's what I was assigned. And the dice were ridiculous. I would attack 8 times and hit 13 because I was furious and just would roll that many 6s. It was ridiculous to the point where I was like apologizing to him, like turn 3. I'm like, man, I'm sorry, but the dice just say I'm gonna win today. But then Nexus has his tournament coming up that I'm signed up for, and I am taking the Orc Biker Army. And let me tell you, I was all enthusiastic about it when I first made it. When the Orcs first came out, I was like, yeah, this will work. It's awesome. And, well, I've play tested it a few times. And now I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I don't know. All of my bikes have they all have they have their squads of 7 bikes. They have 21 shots at 18 inches, and they have extra shooties. So every 5 and 6, they only hit on 5s and 6s because of bad shot. So every shot becomes 2 hits. So my main strategy with them is going to be sit back, and just roll 6s. That's my strategy. We'll see what happens. The Waz Angels. Oh, that's perfect. That's their name now, the Waz Angels. See, I never got into War Machine. Yeah, even if you lose, you went fast, and that's all that matters. Yes. I never got into War Machine because the group at my game store when it came out that were the first ones to get into War Machine were the overly competitive ones. And not like they were dicks about it, but that's just the way their mind worked. Is they always found the broke stuff. So I think I played one demo game with them and lost so badly. I'm like, yeah, I put it down and never picked it back up. Well, they're not assembled. I mean, it's a tabletop simulator tournament, and I am waiting for OPR to release the trike because that is a big part of the biker army. So I think they're releasing that next month. So next month, I will print off the Orc Biker Army, and then we'll just I'll have to slot the game in for them. Is that it for him? I think so. We'll say yes. Do I have any sneak peeks? I don't have nothing. I do not have any privileged information. I am but a humble YouTuber. And the day I get sponsored by OPR, if that day ever happens, you guys will definitely know. Listen, like I say all the time, I'm not professional. Just a dude who paints and throws dice. What faction do I want to see next? Well, the Orcs and the Goblin Reclaimers are already coming out next. So, that is a good question. I would like to see what they do with the Soul Snatchers cult. Yeah, Retman for sci-fi would be pretty cool. Honestly, a cool one for them, I would want to see what they do with the Titans. Just to see what they... Just to see the models they do for it. I have a feeling... Now, again, I'm just a lowly YouTuber. I do not know this, but I have a feeling the Battle Brothers are going to be one of the ones that come up soon. Yeah, Machine Cult would be cool too. Although Machine Cult, I'm kind of torn on the Machine Cult because I feel like the Machine Cult would be... I kind of like it where it's just completely open. Oh, Tyrannoholic, I didn't even see you there. I was going to tell you about the Mummified Undead list I was making. I guess I can wait till Thursday. Does everything be more feminine? Oh, that'd be cool. I mean, it's wide open, and that would be a pretty cool angle to it. Ah, there you are. Yes, I am. I just made a list earlier today for the next list I'm going to be making for the Mummified Undead. And I was like, I'm going to put stuff in this list that I've never used before. So it's got Bone Giants. It's got more of the sculpture dudes. I forgot what they're called. I'm going to use the new version because they came out with a new version of them since I've made them last time. And what else? It's got archers. So it'll be interesting. So I just made the list. I'm just going to start printing them relatively soon. Then I will slot them in somewhere. Yes, you twisted my arm into it. All right, it looks like we're not going to get through that much on these guys today, but it is only a Monday. We're going to keep on going for a while longer, though, because it's only, what time? What time is it actually? Oh, it's almost 11. That's all right, though. If I know, even if I go to bed now, I'm just going to stare at the ceiling. Oh, all right. Hey, Orange Robot Gaming. Yeah, we're going to stick around for a little bit longer tonight. Mostly because I don't want to mix this color up again. And this is number 5 out of 11. This is going to get this color. Oh, the shiny, shiny. Should just dip them. Well, when they're... Oh, I got a hair in there. I think when they're all painted up, they are definitely going to get a oil wash on them. But in theory, to save time, I should have just sprayed them silver. But it is what it is. Maybe for the warriors, because, you know, these got horses, and the warriors just being on foot, they're going to be 90% silver anyways. Or this dark iron color we got going on here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's how I did a Tyranid army like that back in the day. And my wife helped me with that one. She got real enthusiastic about the dunking process. So I just put them in the bucket. Yes, honey, just put them in the bucket. Smash. Not that hard. Alright, we're going to switch up the tunes because I know this is almost done. Let's go back to White Bat's audio. Kill that off. What you got? What you got? Let's do Apocalyptic Dark Synth. There we go. So how's everybody doing out there? Are we still holding on? Are we picking up the Australians yet? Yeah, I like Two Steps from Hell. They are great, but they copyright strike stuff. White Bat does not. I use him in all my videos. Awesome. Mm. Yeah, holding on to the baby, that happens. Cool. We might be picking up the pace a little bit more. We use the brush to scrub it in there. Done. I'll just save you for last. Brush is really fraying. Here we go. A little bit of water to bring it back. Have I ever had anyone criticize my painting? Oh yeah, loads of people. That's the key. Just don't care. Yeah, I'm going for. Ooh, hey, landed where it needed to go. I'm going for tabletop quality and looking okay on camera. I am not going for, you know, Golden Demon sit down and spend 6 hours painting a single model. You. Yeah, I was always a get it on the table kind of painter. I've just picked up enough techniques over the years that I can get on the table relatively fast. Exactly. Yeah, I was watching. I think it was me, Miniac went to the a guy who's making a miniatures museum. He was like, he has the biggest collection in the world, 16,000 models. And I was like, I might be getting close to that number, but nowhere near the quality he has. Good lord, that stuff. He would hire like Golden Demon painters and buy out the displays of different companies. Yeah, once we get more colors on these, because right now they're looking awful bland with just the brown and the silver, but we'll fix that. Not tonight, but we'll fix that. Yeah, when I did my 2024 like in review video, I painted 3,500 models in 2024. I was like, oh, good God. And this is me being slow, mostly keeping it on camera. Normally, like everywhere. Well, the best thing I can say, if you got a big backlog of models, if you want to get them painted, some people just, they just don't want to take the leap and get in there yet. You need to have some inspiration hit you. But if if you want to say, I want to paint all of my models that I have laying around, just pick up a brush and don't let perfect get in the way. Kind of like what I'm doing here. Like, I could spend an hour making sure I get all the creases and stuff perfectly on this model. But that would drive me crazy. There's one thing I want you to take away from watching me paint and watching me do what I do here is that anyone can do it. Yeah, get past the ugly phase. Oh, you're not a shit painter? Just need to just let it flow. Exactly. Like if you didn't paint half of the details on those models and you left them black, or like you did a big brown blob for all of the different straps and things, unless someone comes up and picks it up, no one's going to notice. The only person that's going to notice is you. Sometimes you just got to let it go. Like even with these right now, this is part of the ugly phase. But I know after 5 or 6 more colors and some popping and a wash, it'll look great. Yes, you'll be too busy cursing your dice. I think another time it clicked with me that the painting doesn't matter is where I spent a lot of time, got an army together. It looked great on the board. And I lost the best painted competition at a tournament because I wasn't friends with the TO. And I think that might have been one of the points in my hobbying that just broke me. To where I was just like, oh, none of this matters. Oh, okay, I understand now. Now, painting stuff to get it on the board is more important to me than getting every detail. Exactly, so long as it looks good to you. As I cram a frayed brush into this thing's neck. You see as I go through, I can see stuff like I missed this eyeball. There was one earlier where I missed half a leg. That's okay, we can go back and fix that later. Look, I will be your Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try. What do you mean I can't just hit a button to skip the night? I want to get up. Dad, could you put it on creative mode for me? Mm-hmm. It's constantly with my son playing Minecraft. He'll bring me his tablet or his Switch and go, Daddy, I want you to teleport me to a shipwreck. I'm like, all right, let's Google this. All right, we got two horses left. We're almost out of the silver mines here. What is it? Change your skin to what? A ballerina I hadn't played since. Mm-hmm. See, when my son was real little, he used to take over whatever game I was playing at the moment. Like, was it hard space or hard something shipbreaker? I bought that game years ago, and Evan used to sit on my lap, and he would force me to play that game for hours. And so, when he grew up and stopped sitting on my lap and watched me play games and started playing his own games, I have never opened that game up since. Because it was like, that was our thing, and now that you've grown out of it, I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah, he's off playing Fortnite and Minecraft. Daddy's not cool enough to play those with him. And I just don't play games anymore like I used to. Yeah. Alright, man. Have a good night. Like I said, we got this one and one more horse to silver, and we are done for the night. And that one, that's the leader over there, so I'm going to take a little bit extra time on that one. I've kind of gone into the hurry up timer on these. Couple sloppy spots, but it's okay. I'll fix that later. I'll fix it in post. Oh, that's armored too. Okay, last guy coming up. Bust that smaller brush for this one. So this guy's got a little bit more detail to him. Maybe. I've never really been a fan of non-metallic metal. I like my metal shiny. Do the horse first. Well, that's something I never would have thought to try. That's it for the horse. Everything else I'm going to do like different golds and bronzes and stuff. All right, let's do the dude. That's all. He has the butt plate. That's a washer of metallic paint. It's a speed paint. It is a mix of what was it? Broadsword silver and grim black. Giving us just a little darker of a silver that we're going to use to build up on. Plus, because they're Havoc warriors, I want them a little darker anyways. I'll do that different color. Pull the sleeve up. That big old skull thing on his chest or in his belt. Now let's do that a different color too. Yeah, Enchanted Steel has like a little bit of a blue to it. So I like it for some stuff, but for this, I kind of wanted this to be like, well, someone suggested dark metal, so I was thinking kind of like a very high carbon steel. I think can't only have Chaos Shield. Let's see, we got little skulls there. Yeah, we're gonna do like some really thin highlights, probably with like the metallic silver from Vallejo, something that just makes it pop at the very top of it. And then we're going to do a black wash, a black oil wash on the whole thing, so it's going to really darken it down too on top of all this. So guys, I think we're going to call it there. We got 11 guys, we got the horse collar done, and we got the steel, and we've been going for an hour and 45 minutes. So I'm thinking, because this is going to be kind of old hammer inspired look, there's going to be some red horns. I might do like that burnished red I used on the robots for their lances, and then some little random splashes of color here and there. Yeah, looking good. It's only 2 colors. So we will see where this goes. Let's see. I'll probably have these done before the next stream, and then the next stream we'll work on something completely different, like Marauders or something. Because I got 30 of these naked dudes with flails, so that'll be a lot more color on these guys. But I'll show you what I come up with these guys. So that'll do it for me tonight, guys. Like I usually, oh God, choking on myself. Like I usually say, I hope you're having fun playing OPR wherever you are. I'll catch you later. Good night.